The two most powerful forces you will ever experience in life are time and words. Once they slip away, you can't chase them down or pull them back. They are gone for good. My friends, words carry a kind of magic that most people never fully understand. They can patch up wounds that nobody sees, or they can create scars that last for years. They can lift someone up so high they feel unstoppable, or they can crush someone so deeply they never forget the moment. You might have noticed how one simple line can brighten someone's entire day, while another sentence can stay stuck in their mind, replaying again and again, like an old echo they can't turn off. Words may cost nothing to speak, but their value is immeasurable. They seem small and simple, yet they hold the kind of power that can shift a life's direction within a single moment. Now, before we go deeper, just do me a small favor. Tap that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay with me. Because today, I'm going to hand you a phrase so effective, so emotionally charged, so impossible to ignore, that almost every man who hears it will feel something he can't easily resist. I want you to picture something. Imagine you're standing in front of a vending machine. You put in your money, press the button, and wait. But nothing drops. Nothing moves. So what do? You push it. You shake it. You tap it harder. You try the same things again, hoping eventually it works. That's exactly how many people treat relationships. They keep pressing the same emotional buttons, repeating the same lines, hoping things will suddenly get better. But nothing changes. Men are wired in a particular way, and if you don't understand what inspires them, what softens them, what makes them open up, you'll keep using the wrong approach and wonder why nothing is shifting. But today, I'm giving you the key that unlocks all of that. A lot of people think men are simple creatures. Feed them, compliment them, and they're fine. But that idea is so far from the truth. Men feel deeply, often far more deeply than they show. The only difference is that society trains them to hide their emotions, to act strong at all times, to swallow their struggles, and to carry their problems silently. Because of that, many men move through life with invisible weights pulling at them. They may not always tell you what's on their heart, but trust me, inside, they're craving someone who can see past the surface. Here's the surprising part. Many women think they must be physically flawless, endlessly interesting, or highly successful to keep a man's attention. But that's not what makes a man stay. A man stays where he feels valued, respected, understood, and emotionally safe. He stays where he feels seen, not just for what he does, but for who he is. Think about seeing a stray dog. It doesn't trust immediately. It keeps distance. It might run even when you offer something good. Not because you meant harm, but because it's been hurt before. It needs proof that you're safe. Over time, with gentleness, patience, and consistent kindness, the dog eventually relaxes. It finally sees that it can trust you. Men are very similar. Many carry emotional armor because life has taught them that vulnerability is dangerous. They won't drop that shield simply because you want them to. They need evidence that doing so won't backfire. And nothing breaks through that armor faster than the right words said with sincerity at the right moment. Before you think this is about tricking or manipulating a man, let me stop you. This isn't manipulation. This is understanding human emotion, understanding how men operate internally, and learning to speak in a way that actually reaches their heart instead of bouncing off their defenses. Everyone talks, but very few actually connect. And once you know how to touch a man's inner world with your words, everything about your connection begins to shift. So if you're ready to learn the phrase that can melt even the toughest heart, stay right where you are. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. And if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, and keep going with me. Words are either weapons or lifelines. They cost nothing to say, but depending on how you use them, they can either save something important or destroy something precious. Words can reopen old wounds, or they can help them finally close. They can create love or burn love down. One careless sentence can shatter trust. One sincere phrase can make someone feel appreciated for the rest of their life. Why do certain speeches make people cry while others put them to sleep? Why do some couples stay passionately connected for years, even decades, while other couples lose their spark even though they say, "I love you," every day? It's because meaningful communication isn't about how much you say. It's about how deeply your words land. It's the feeling behind the words that matters most. Imagine walking through a dark forest with only a single match. If you strike it carelessly, you can start a fire that destroys everything around you. But if you strike it carefully, it becomes the small flame that keeps you warm and guides you out of the darkness. That is exactly how words work. A sharp insult, a mocking tone, or a sarcastic remark. These are sparks that can burn down trust, love, and connection. But a warm message, a heartfelt reassurance, or a line that speaks straight to the soul, that creates comfort, safety, and closeness. So ask yourself honestly, how do you use your words? Are you building someone up or breaking them down without meaning to? Are you creating closeness or creating distance? Most people never stop to think about the weight of their words. They speak casually, as if words are just sounds that float away. But words linger. Words stay. They shape how people see themselves and how they see you. They can create invisible damage or invisible strength. Here's something many people overlook. Men, even the strongest-looking ones, are deeply influenced by words. Society might push them to act tough, telling them to shake off feelings, ignore the pain, keep going. But the truth is, men remember the words that cut them. They remember the harsh comment from a parent. They remember the rejection from someone they cared about. They remember the moment they felt dismissed, small, or unimportant. Those memories don't vanish. They stay stored inside them, often for years. And the right words, spoken with honesty and warmth, can reach that hidden part of them that rarely gets acknowledged. Maybe it came from never being appreciated for everything he gives, or maybe it came from always feeling like his efforts went unnoticed. These things don't just fade away. They don't disappear with time. They stay buried inside, sometimes for years, sometimes for an entire lifetime. But the opposite is also true. A sincere, heartfelt word spoken at the right moment can breathe life back into a man. It can strengthen him in ways you can't see. It can remind him that he is more than his duty, more than his job, more than the tasks he completes every day. Words have changed nations, started wars, healed wounds, sparked movements, and begun love stories that shaped history. So once again, I ask you, how are you using yours? Because very soon, I'm going to give you a phrase that can reach a man's heart in a way almost nothing else can. But before that, you must understand what men are truly longing for. And believe me, it's probably not what you imagine. Let's talk about a truth people rarely mention out loud. Society loves to glorify the image of the unbreakable man. Silent, tough, stone-faced, always in control, never needing help, never showing weakness. But behind that mask lies a very different truth. Every man, no matter how confident or put together he may look, is starving for something inside, something emotional, something human, something he might not even know he's missing. Since boyhood, males hear the same phrases again and again. Don't cry, be strong, handle it yourself, don't show weakness. So what do? They hide their emotions, they silence their feelings. They grow into men who are experts at pretending everything is fine, and they carry on like this every day, pushing through struggles like quiet warriors, showing up even when they feel empty. Picture a man walking through life wearing emotional armor, trying to protect himself from judgment, rejection, or disappointment. People assume he's okay because he never complains. They think he's calm because he doesn't show what he feels. But inside, he is craving something simple yet rare. He wants to feel seen. He wants someone to notice the effort he pours into everything. To hear someone say, "I know how much you try. I see your effort, and it matters." Men aren't searching for perfect women. They are searching for peace. They want someone who doesn't add more weight to their shoulders, but someone who helps them breathe easier. And one of the most powerful ways to give that peace is through your words. Have you ever noticed how a man might chase praise from his boss, or seek approval from his father, or look for validation from strangers online? That's not ego, that's hunger, emotional hunger, because men are rarely told that they are enough. They are expected to be enough without ever hearing it. That silence becomes heavy. It builds walls. It creates distance. It teaches men to stop opening up. When someone feels unseen for too long, they eventually stop showing pieces of themselves. They retreat. They protect themselves. But you have the power to change that story. Your voice can become the place where he finally feels safe enough to lower his guard. Your words can be the permission he needs to finally release that weight he hides from the world. One genuine sentence, just one, can break through years of emotional quietness. It can make a man feel strong in a new way. It can make him feel chosen, valued, and important, not because of what he gives, but because of who he is inside. So, what is that powerful sentence? What can you say that hits deeper than the usual lines? We're almost there. Just one final truth before I give you the phrase. Let's explore something even deeper than love itself. Being heard, truly listened to, is so close to being loved that most people can't see the difference. The world throws around compliments so easily. Flattery is simple. Anyone can say, "You're great," or "You look good," or "You're amazing." Men hear it, smile politely, and forget it moments later, because those words don't reach the part of them that is actually thirsty. Real words, the kind that move your heart, the kind that stay with you, the kind that leave a mark long after they're spoken, those are rare. Imagine wandering through a desert with no water, sun beating on your skin, your throat dry, your body begging for relief. Someone hands you a cold soda. It might taste nice for a moment, but it won't save you. It won't hydrate you. It doesn't give what your body truly needs. That's what flattery is. Pleasant, light, maybe sweet, but not enough to satisfy the deeper need. What quenches that thirst? Genuine understanding, real recognition, words that reach beyond the surface and touch the soul. The kind of words that make a man pause and think, "She actually sees me. She understands me." That is where everything transforms. Because when a man feels not only seen, but deeply understood, you reach a part of him almost no one ever reaches. That's when he opens up. That's when he becomes loyal in a way that comes naturally. That's when he feels safe enough to show you the real version of himself. Now, are you ready for the phrase? Because what I'm about to give you goes far beyond charm or beauty or anything physical. When you say it with truth and intention, something powerful happens. He listens. He softens. He responds. It hits him in a place he rarely lets anyone touch. And suddenly, he isn't just hearing your words, he's feeling them. Most men walk through life unnoticed. They wake up early, fight through the day, juggle responsibilities, manage stress, solve problems, and keep going even when they're tired. And when the day ends, very few people truly acknowledge them. People say things like, "Nice job," or "You're doing great." But those lines are too general, too empty, too forgettable. But when someone looks a man straight in the eyes and says, "I see you. I appreciate your effort. I respect what you do," everything changes. because that isn't just a compliment, that is validation, that is emotional recognition, that is someone telling him he is not invisible. His work, his challenges, his energy, they matter. Men crave respect and appreciation even more deeply than they crave affection. That's not an opinion. That is something life repeatedly proves. That is something endlessly confirmed through experience. That is something true at the core of almost every man you will ever meet. A woman can say, "I love you," every single day, but if her words are filled with criticism, complaints, or subtle disrespect, that love won't land. It won't feel warm. It won't feel safe. If she belittles him, questions his intentions, or dismisses the effort he brings to the table, he will feel drained and unseen, no matter how often she says she cares. But on the other hand, if she looks at him and says, "I respect what you do. I notice how hard you try. I truly appreciate you," that fills a man in a way nothing else can. That gives him a sense of strength, a sense of purpose, a sense of being valued. Those words give him energy. Those words make him want to lift mountains, not because he has to, but because he wants to, for the person who sees him clearly. Respect isn't just admiration, it's honor. And when a man feels honored, when he feels like he is held in high regard, something inside him unlocks. He becomes a version of himself that is stronger, more present, more committed, and more loving. So let go of empty flattery. Leave behind the vague compliments that sound nice but don't touch the heart. Choose words that resonate down to the core. Because when a man hears the simple truth, "I see you," it's like releasing a breath he has been holding for years. It's like stepping into shade after being under a burning sun. It brings relief. It brings peace. Now you might be wondering, when should you say this? How do you express it in a way that hits deeply instead of sounding routine? Timing matters more than people think, because the right words said at the wrong moment can miss the heart completely. But the right words said at the right time can transform a relationship. And that's exactly what we're about to dive into. So keep listening, stay focused, and let's move forward together. Respect is one of the purest forms of love. If love is the fire that warms a connection, then respect is the oxygen that keeps that flame alive. Without it, the fire slowly suffocates. No matter how much affection is there, if respect is missing, everything else begins to crumble. A man might hear "I love you" over and over, but if he feels talked down to, ignored, or unappreciated, those words eventually lose their meaning. Love without respect is like offering someone food but never giving them a place to sit and rest. They might have something to eat, but they remain hungry in a deeper, more emotional way. Imagine a knight in shining armor. He enters battle, fights the fight, protects the kingdom, and returns home bruised, tired, and worn out. At the end of the day, what do you think matters most to him? The applause of the people? The gold? The cheers? No. The thing that matters most is the queen's gaze. The moment she looks him in the eyes and says, "I see you. I honor your strength. I respect all that you've done." That recognition means more than any reward. Because here's a truth many people overlook. A man would rather stand alone than stay with someone who disrespects him. That's not pride. That's emotional survival. And here's the sad part. Most women don't even realize when they're being disrespectful. Men rarely speak up about it, but they feel it. They feel it when their ideas are dismissed. They feel it when they're spoken to with irritation. They feel it when they put in effort, but hear only what they didn't do right. They feel it when their sacrifices go unnoticed. They feel it when their tiredness is ignored instead of understood. And when a man feels chronically disrespected, one of two things happens. He shuts down completely, or he slowly withdraws from the relationship. Either way, the emotional connection begins fading, often long before anyone realizes why. But when a man feels respected, when he knows his effort is seen, when he senses that the person beside him honors his struggle and recognizes his strength, he becomes fully alive. Respect tells a man, I value not just the results you bring, but the weight you carry to bring them. It tells him he doesn't have to be perfect to be appreciated. It tells him he is worthy even when he is tired, uncertain, or hurting. When a man receives that, he doesn't just feel loved, he feels safe. Safe to be himself, safe to show emotion, safe to trust fully. Respect doesn't just make a man feel good, it fuels him. It pushes him to be better, stronger, more reliable. It unlocks the best version of him because he knows he is not standing alone. Every great man in history, every visionary, every leader, every warrior had someone behind them who said, I believe in you. I respect your strength. I trust what you can do. That voice creates courage. That voice builds confidence. That voice keeps him going when the world gets heavy. So ask yourself honestly, do you respect the man in your life? Truly respect him? Not just when he's winning and confident, but also when he's tired, stressed, or unsure. Not just when he's calm, but when he's emotional. Because here's the truth. Men crave respect the same way women crave love. And once you understand that, everything about your relationship with a man becomes clearer and easier. If you're wondering how to show that kind of respect in a way that goes straight into his soul, you're right where you need to be. Because next, you're going to get the exact words that make a man feel more respected, more valued, and more emotionally understood than ever before. But first, let's talk about something equally important: vulnerability. The world has twisted the meaning of vulnerability, but the real truth is this: vulnerability is strength. It's not weakness to say, this is who I am, without walls or defenses. It is an act of courage to show your unpolished, imperfect, still healing parts. Imagine you've been wearing heavy armor for years. It's tight, it's uncomfortable, it weighs on you, but you learned to carry it because life taught you that you needed it. Maybe you were hurt, maybe you were judged, maybe you were ignored or abandoned. So you protected yourself. Now imagine standing across from someone else who is also armored up, both of you hidden behind layers. What do you think happens? Nothing real, no connection, no closeness, just two guarded people pretending everything is fine. But the moment one of you takes off even a small piece of that armor, the dynamic changes. It's like lowering your weapon on a battlefield. It communicates trust. It says, I feel safe enough with you to let you see the real me. Can you trust me enough to do the same? And here's something people rarely understand. Men need this invitation more than anyone realizes. From boyhood, they are told the same message again and again. Be strong, be silent, don't show fear, don't show tears, don't show pain. So they hide everything under the armor. They lock away their soft parts. They pretend they don't feel what they feel. But deep down, men want someone who allows them to take that weight off, even if only for a moment. That idea that showing emotions makes someone weak, that opening up about their inner world is something to feel ashamed of, is something many men grow up believing without even realizing it. So instead of facing their feelings, they swallow them, push them aside, and pretend they don't matter. They carry old wounds quietly, without telling anyone. They walk around with battles inside them that no one ever sees, fears that they never name out loud, insecurities that sit heavy on their chest even when they laugh or act confident. And most of the time, they think they have to deal with all of it alone because somewhere along the way, they were taught that silence is strength. But here's a truth most people never hear. When a man sees you allow yourself to be vulnerable, when he sees that you are not afraid to be soft or honest, something important happens inside him. Your vulnerability tells him something he rarely hears in his life. You don't need to be perfect with me. You don't need to hide. You can be real. You can let down your guard. And that feeling, that sense of freedom from expectations, is something many men never experience anywhere else. It's like taking a deep breath after holding it in for too long. There is a simple phrase, not complicated or poetic, but powerful in a quiet way, that can reach even a man who hides behind silence. When you say it honestly, with warmth, it can break through walls he didn't even know he built. The words are, "I believe in you, and I'm here no matter what." Not, "I'm here if you do everything right." Not, "I'm here only when you look strong." Not, "I'm here as long as you never fall." Just, "I'm here, always." Those few words feel like life itself to a man who's been carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. They are like fresh air to someone who has been suffocating under pressure and expectations. They can be the difference between a man shut tight in silence and a man finally opening his heart. When he hears those words, truly hears them, something inside him softens. The tension he carries begins to loosen. His walls start to come down. Not because he is weak, but because for the first time in a long time, he feels safe. He feels understood. He feels allowed to simply exist without performing strength. So ask yourself honestly, can you be the one who goes first? Can you be the one who removes your armor so he can feel safe enough to remove his? Because love always begins with someone being brave enough to show softness first. When you take that first step, when you show that small act of courage by being real and gentle, that is where something genuine begins to grow. That is where connection starts. Words have enormous power, but timing is the invisible force that decides whether those words heal or hurt. You can have the most perfect sentence, the most thoughtful intention, but if you say it at a moment when he is overwhelmed or closed off, it might completely miss the meaning. Or even worse, it might create distance instead of closeness. Think of planting a seed. You can hold the best seed in your hand, but if you drop it into dry, unprepared soil, nothing will happen. But when the soil is ready, soft, open, waiting, that same seed can take root and grow into something beautiful. It's not the seed that changed, it's the moment. Communication works the same way. Maybe you've tried comforting someone while they were angry and it only made them more upset. Maybe you tried to lift someone's spirits while they were drowning in doubt, and instead of feeling encouraged, they brushed you off. It isn't that your words were wrong. The heart just wasn't ready to receive them. Most people spend too much time thinking about what to say. But the real magic, the part that creates real understanding and closeness, comes from knowing when to say it. When you learn to pay attention to his moods, to the way he gets quiet, to the small signs he shows when he's fighting something inside, you start to understand him without needing explanations. When you can sense his emotional weather, when he's tired, when he's frustrated, when he's discouraged, that's when your words begin to land deeply. That's when your voice feels less like noise and more like home. When you speak the right words at the precise moment his heart is open, that's when walls crumble. That's when he lets you in. That's when the connection becomes real and powerful. So don't just speak because you feel the need to speak. Take a breath. Watch him. Feel what he is feeling. Wait for the moment where your voice won't be another pressure, but a source of comfort. Then speak with love, with presence, with awareness, and your words will do exactly what they were meant to do. Soften him, strengthen him, and bring both of you closer. Your words create the emotional space between you and someone else. They don't just fill silence, they shape the atmosphere. They build the emotional walls, the doors, the windows of your relationship. Maybe you've met someone who enters a room and says only a few sentences, yet everyone listens, everyone feels something shift. It's not a trick. It's the power of speaking with intention instead of impulse. But don't confuse this with memorizing lines or learning strategies to control someone. That's manipulation, and men, especially men who have been hurt or disappointed, sense manipulation quickly. This is about truth. It's about speaking from a real place in your chest. It's about connection built on sincerity, not tactics. It's about saying things that matter because they come from care, not calculation. Because deep down, every man, no matter how confident he appears, no matter how successful or calm he looks, longs for the same three things: to be seen for who he truly is, to be valued not just for what he does, but for who he is, and to feel safe enough to be vulnerable without fear of judgment or rejection. When he senses that from you, when he feels that your words come from a heart that means every syllable, something inside him finally relaxes. And that is where love begins to grow in ways that feel natural, strong, and lasting.